Oh wow, it's the very latest technology. This will play anything that it has on its system. But I wonder whether it has... Oh yes, it does. This week, Click is at a smart home where your music, your videos, and even your chicken are digitally controlled. We visit a restart party where you can learn how to fix your broken kit for nothing. All that plus the latest tech news, and if you're flying away on your holidays soon, we found a little blue bird that can help you stay one step ahead of the crush in Webscape. Welcome to Click. I'm Spencer Kelly. For years, this program has been creeping ever closer to the idea of the perfect smart home of the future. A place to live where every appliance, every item is connected, controllable and intelligent. Well, this week we're at a show home in central London where one company has pulled everything together to create a smart and smart looking home. Come on in, coffee's on. Now this isn't your run-of-the-mill kit, this is all top-of-the-range stuff, and the place doesn't even look that smart. That's because everything is hidden away, including your controller, which of course is a tablet. Now the house comes with its own app, which means at the touch of just a couple of buttons I can get ready for the perfect night in. Lights, blinds and projector. Now actually you can control anything from anywhere just by touching the room on the floor plan on the app, which means you can do anything from set the temperature to make yourself a cup of coffee. Now, of course, you're going to want to build yourself a state-of-the-art cinema room too, in which to view all of your movies in the highest quality. Now, the entertainment system in this house is run by something called Kaleidoscape. And what you do is you pop your CDs, DVDs and Blu-rays into the system and it will digitize them in full quality and then distribute those movies around your house. So you can watch them on your TVs, your tablets, or if you must, on this enormous cinema screen. Now the interface you get is bespoke too, and you can see as I navigate around the movies here, you can see it looks pretty good. But what's also interesting is as you call up a film, you get extra information that you wouldn't get if you just popped the Blu-ray or DVD into a normal player. And that's because the team at Kaleidoscape HQ are busy adding information to every new disc that comes onto the market. But there is a quirk to this system that is perhaps a sign of the times that we're moving into. Although Kaleidoscape does rip the Blu-ray to its hard drive, it won't play the content unless the disc is still in the machine. And that is obviously to make sure that you don't borrow someone else's disc, rip the content and then give it back to them, which is of course illegal. And as we are all starting to think more and more about getting digital copies of our content, that does raise a few questions. Andy Moseby is a digital media lawyer and he joins me in this rather cosy viewing room now. Andy, hi.
Hi.
We're moving into an age then, as I say, when we're considering taking digital copies of our media or possibly not even buying a physical disc but just downloading or streaming movies. And it seems the rights we have over the content we pay for are changing. Is that right?
That is right. Most people probably don't realise it, but rather than when you have a physical copy, you're allowed to do things that you can't do when you have a digital copy. When you download a digital content, you're downloading that subject to the terms and conditions of the platform that you downloaded it from. And that comes with a whole host of restrictions of not being able to sell it on, not being able to lend it out to people, and really restrict what you can do with that digital version.
Why are the movie companies doing this?
Partly because they are concerned, particularly with films, that if they enable people to have digital versions that they can spread just as they could a DVD, it's very easy to rip that to their hard drive and make that available to thousands of people
But
worldwide.
of course it is incredibly easy to rip a Blu-ray as well. If you go to many pirate sites, you will find Blu-ray rips as well as DVD rips. So
for the average person, it is more difficult, and that's one of the challenges that digital rights management is facing, is that it might not do what it set out to do, which is stop piracy. Actually, what it does do to the ordinary consumer is make it more difficult to have a seamless service. What consumers want to be able to do is to take their digital content and use that in a way that they would do their physical. So be able to put it across numerous devices around the home, share that as much as they possibly can, just as they would do with a DVD or a Blu-ray that they can hold in their hand.
the movie industry, I guess, are attempting to solve this by giving you an option to download a digital copy of a movie when you buy a Blu-ray, a system called Ultraviolet, aren't they?
That's right. I mean, it's all about engaging with the consumer and still having the digital rights management there, but trying to give the consumer what they want, which is to be able to watch the digital version on the devices around the house. And Ultraviolet, the way in which that works is you're given a code, so you go online, once you've bought your Blu-ray, type in the code, you get to have access to the digital version at the same time. So it's a good step in the right direction towards good digital rights management.
If you do have a Blu-ray disc, is it legal to rip the contents to your own server, your own hard drive, for your own personal use?
Technically, no, you'd be in breach of copyright for doing that. Now, the government have looked at this, and so the law is changing, and they've proposed some new legislation that they hope will come into effect in October that says that if you own a physical copy, you can take a digital copy of that physical media, and as long as it's for your personal use, that's fine. You can put that onto a range of different devices. But that will only apply to digital content that doesn't have DRM or some sort of copy protection attached to it.
So basically you're talking about making it legal to rip CDs because DVDs and Blu-ray have copy protection. So the law is basically only coming up to date with what a lot of people have done anyway, which is rip their own personal music collections to their music players.
The difficulty is that technology advances far quicker than the law ever will. And so the law is generally playing catch up to technology. But what that means is that it's open to businesses to look at the technology and see if there's a way to get round DRM or make better DRM that gives the consumer a better experience. And then you won't have to rely on the law. The law is there and says these are the things that you can do without the consent of the person that holds the rights. But if the person that holds the rights gives you the consent to make it available to other people or to copy it, then you can do that.
Okay, Andy, thanks very much for your time. Your thoughts on this very welcome. Click at bbc.co.uk, the email address. Next up, this week's Tech News.
Most of the homes in the UK will have pornography websites blocked by their internet service provider, unless they explicitly choose to receive it. The change, led by British Prime Minister David Cameron, has been supported by the UK's biggest ISPs, which will introduce family-friendly filters. They'll be switched on by default, unless users specifically choose to access adult content. It comes as a UK court ruled that ISPs must block access to two file-sharing sites, EasyTV and YIFY Torrents. The blocking of these two sites adds to the growing list of file-sharing outlets blocked in the UK. Older SIM cards in around 1 in 8 mobile phones may be vulnerable to malicious attacks by hackers, according to Berlin-based Security Research Labs. It's warned that infected SIMs could send premium text messages, record your phone calls, and in some cases access financial details stored by apps. The hack works by sending a fake authentication code that pretends to come from the user's mobile operator and which older phones fail to detect. Google has announced its latest attempt to successfully break into the TV market. This time round, it's a device that plugs straight into your TV's HDMI port. Chromecast allows users to stream media from most smartphones, tablets and computers straight to the big screen. However, it only works with newer TVs. Perhaps the biggest surprise is the price, just $35 in the US, but so far there's no word on international release dates. And finally, if you're bored of your weekly shop, maybe you should take a leaf out of Matt McEwen's book and strap a jet engine to your trolley. Mr. McEwen smashed his own world record by reaching 44 miles an hour on a shopping trolley, attached to some go-kart wheels and a second-hand Chinook helicopter starter engine, of course.
Now, having a smart home doesn't just mean having a smart entertainment system, of course. You've got to have a smart kitchen too. So here is the nutrition generation area, and this has a smart hob which uses induction heating technology, something we've seen before on Click. It means the hob area itself doesn't technically get hot. It's the bottom of the pans which heat up. And this one is especially smart because you don't have to put the pans in any specific areas. You just plonk it down wherever you want, and as you can see, the system works out what's going on and where. And here is a smart oven for the not so smart chef. Now, you do have full control over everything as you would expect, but if you're no good in the kitchen, then as long as you know the name of the organic matter you bought at the supermarket, this will do the thinking for you. Now, I think that's chicken. Tell it what the meat is. It will tell you where to put it in the oven. And then you close the door, hit start, and by monitoring the moisture that comes off of the thing, it should cook it to perfection. Dinner's ready at 4:10. Now, not every piece of technology that we feature on Click will come with the kind of service warranty you can expect with this place. When something breaks, the temptation these days is to just chuck it away and replace it with a newer model. But what if you could find a bunch of people who could teach you how to fix it for free? Well, it turns out you can. LJ Rich went to meet the fixers.
When our favourite kit becomes useless at the end of its life, it is a sad occasion indeed.
In today's disposable technology culture, we're all too eager to get rid of our old kit when it's broken. Well, I'm here in the central London council estate to meet a bunch of people who are hoping to change our philosophy about what to do with a gadget once it breaks.
Through this door are the fixers. They're holding a so-called restart party, a place for people to learn how to repair their stuff. And anyone who brings broken kit here gets it fixed for free. Words got around, people arrive armed with their old tech, hoping to revive it. Part of the appeal for the fixer is the challenge of what could come through the door. From cameras built at the turn of the century to positively prehistoric tech like these cassette decks, you know, from when MP3s were stored magnetically on tape.
Restart parties are very simple. We find a venue and we publicize it along social media and with community groups in the area. People come bringing either their skills to help others or something that they're having a problem with. The idea of the Restart project combines learning from what's happened in the south of the world, where no one never lost the repair skills, and thinking about so many gadgets that are now more and more part of our everyday life.
Whilst fixing old tech might not appeal to early adopters, giving gadgets a new lease of life is actually pretty useful if you don't have the time or money to upgrade.
This was ready to go into the recycling because I knew it didn't work and I couldn't. It wasn't the batteries, it wasn't the memory card, and that's about the extent of my knowledge. So but I thought I'd give these boys a run for their money.
And we don't like when we see things that end up in a skip or even recycled by our councils when they could have a second or a third life if only we use some basic repair skills.
And those basic repair skills include tips for even the most seasoned fixers. For example, a simple guitar pick can gently leave the connections apart without leaving scrapes on the casing. The fixers have a genuine interest in how things work and are happy to impart their knowledge to eager students.
When the power comes in, they get stashed in there because a capacitor is like a small battery, and it stores the charge and it releases it. If you look at them carefully, they're slightly domed, they're slightly raised. Yes. So what you do is tear them out, because that's part of your problem.
Many of the fixers here say that older technology is in fact easier to fix yourself.
Do you think modern gadgets don't last as long as they used to?
Absolutely. Less and less repair manuals that people can use. Spare parts are not available to consumers, or if, when they are priced in ridiculous ways that push people not to repair what they have and instead to upgrade and keep buying new stuff. We've just received this transformer. It says the cable of this product cannot be replaced. If it is damaged, the product must be destroyed. It's this must be destroyed that we don't accept. We like to learn how can it be not destroyed? How can we learn how to make it last longer? The idea, though, is really to be able to reach out to the widest possible public and not just preaching to the converted, but really getting people who have maybe not so many skills in regards to taking stuff apart.
Now, it is worth pointing out that electrical repairs should only be attempted by a competent person. And this pretty much sums up the Restart Project's mission, to make more people more competent.
LJ Rich. Now, any students who want a higher education these days may find it's quite a costly business. Tuition fees, accommodation, lifestyle maintenance, you know what I mean. Well, sadly we can't help with any of that, but we can show you how to get physics and maths textbooks free of charge. Here comes Kate Russell with Webscape.
Studying for a degree is hard, but it doesn't have to hit your bank account as hard as it does with the help of Flooved, a global education platform that's pushing the idea of open access to textbooks for all undergraduates.
Where is my old school teacher?
At the moment, the subjects covered are maths and physics, but the developers say they will be rolling out more textbooks in different topics over the months ahead. Could this spell the end of the university library? Shh! Sorry. The library is keyword searchable and you can download the PDFs or read them online, all very convenient when it comes to having the information you need to hand. The developers tell me that the additional features such as Q&A and annotations will be added soon too. Getting ready to travel can be a busy time, but keeping up to date with your flight status couldn't be easier with the help of a simple new Twitter account, @FlightStatus. Just tweet it your flight number and the free service will ping you a series of real-time messages leading up to departure, including flight information, departure time and terminal details. It will even tweet a friendly welcome once you land at your destination.
But I'm stuck inside, staring at this screen.
This service is simple and brilliant, but it comes with a huge caveat, and that is, are you happy for Twitter at large to know you are potentially going abroad? If there is any chance your account can be linked to an address, for example, if you've publicly posted geotagged photographs from home, then think very carefully about whether your security is at risk. If you haven't figured out where to fly to yet, TripTease is a new image-led social travel site that's beautifully designed and really simple to navigate.
I need a holiday. I need a holiday with my friends.
Reviews are quick and easy to add and share. It's a great new place to start for holiday inspiration.
I'm working every day for the weekend.
Staying in shape is never easy. What you need is a personal trainer in your pocket. Not literally, but with the free Gym Pocket Guide app for Windows Phone. You can choose to stretch or work out a specific area, or just follow one of the 7-day programs, depending on what it is you want to achieve. From building muscle to losing fat. My biggest problem with staying in shape is motivation. Now, this app won't send you push notifications reminding you it's time for a workout, which is kind of a shame actually, but the daily schedule, including reminders to take a rest day occasionally, means at least I know that I'm on track to a better bod. All workouts are available offline too, so there's no excuse not to get stuck in. If you do have a connection, there are links to video instructions too, courtesy of bodybuilding.com.
Loading up records for the Battle of Dratheus 5. The fighting started when a splinter sect of Covenant ignored the ceasefire of 2552 and attacked UNSC forces. By the time the fighting
This week I've been hard at work playing the latest release in the Halo gaming franchise, Halo Spartan Assault, a spin-off set between the events of Halo 3 and Halo 4 that's been released on Windows 8 PC and mobile platforms rather than the Xbox. But will this iconic top-down shooter bring some much-needed attention to the platform, which has struggled to capture market share despite Microsoft dropping the price of devices a few weeks ago? Xbox fans might well be a bit peeved that it's exclusively on Windows 8, and the virtual twin-stick controls on the touchscreen are fiddly to master. But otherwise, it plays pretty well, with a comfortable learning curve and plenty of highly colourful, explosive action through 25 missions. I've had lots of fun, but at around £5 it isn't cheap. And add to that in-app purchases for certain upgrades and extras, which is irritating in the extreme when you've already paid a premium price tag. This game might have priced itself out of a market that is used to paying no more than a couple of pounds for most apps.
Kate Russell's Webscape, and those links are available at our site as usual, bbc.co.uk/click. Don't forget our contact details too. Click at bbc.co.uk on the email, and you'll also find us on Google+, Facebook and Twitter too. That is it from this rather smart house. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to avail myself of the video gaming facilities, which you won't be surprised to hear are available in very flashy fashion. There is an Xbox 360, PS3 and a Wii, all available. They're all built into the house. The screen is hidden behind this wall, and when the whole thing has opened up, these two gaming seats will be arranged in something that is perfect for interactive play, which is of course the only reason why the entire floor rotates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.